So these pill mills are basically doctors who have their medical license, and some of these things are like really big. Like they'll have locations nationwide, and then they get guys or girls or people to get out there in the streets and basically come to someone like you and say, "Hey, man, I'll pay you $100. Give me your ID. Go see this doctor." You go see this doctor, and they make up this fake. They have these fake MRIs, this fake X-ray on your back, right? And they say, "Well, his back's messed up." I give you $100. You come out of the pharmacy with the pills. You give me the pills, and you're off, right? And then I'm gonna come track you down in a couple weeks to get you to do the same thing. And then I'm gonna take these pills, and I'm gonna sell them on the street for whatever, $20, $40 a pop, right? And so they're cracking down on this. And when they come knocking on your door, they're already ready to arrest you. They got all the evidence they need, right? And so when they're cracking down on these pill mills, it makes pills harder to get, right? Initially, it was really easy to get pills. You just go to the doctor, "Man, my neck hurts." They prescribe you Vicodin. That's how I got hooked on Vicodin. I had a shoulder injury. So people are basically not able to get the pills, and so here comes heroin. First off, it's cheaper, right? You can buy a $10 baggie and get high. It's easier to get. You don't have to go through all the hoops of going to see a doctor and doing all this stuff. And so a lot of people who are in this socially acceptable, taking these pills, right, they get addicted to the opiate, and then they're forced to make a decision, right? And of course, the next easiest thing is moving into heroin, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And from all walks of life now,
Yeah.
It's not just, what you would typically, like with alcoholics, you always viewed them as, the guy under the bridge.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's everywhere now, in
Doesn't
all walks of
discriminate.
life. Right?
Don't discriminate.
Yeah.
Basically, it's having the degree and still being a drug dealer at the same time.
Yeah.
The way I look at it.
Yeah.
It's just another way of getting high.
Yeah.
Legally, just like alcohol is legal.
Yeah.
Let me get a prescription. Let me justify my mind saying it's okay because our doctor prescribed the medication.
Right.
And this is kind of I have mixed emotions about this type of subject, because I come to find out more and more in recovery and working in the field of addiction that, people get sent to detoxes, and with the insurance, you have the Subutex, Suboxone, and so forth, and methadone. Well, blind detox, And what happens is while they're going through the detox, they're being detoxed off another opiate.
Right.
And what happens is, because of the mind, the pleasure sensors in your brain of the feel good, they're detoxing off the opiates that are being detoxed with.
Right.
And what happens is, in the addict's mind, well, I don't want to be sick.
Right.
I got sick one time.
Yeah.
I'm being medically detoxed with another substance.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sick again.
Right.
So then here we go again. We're going to go cop some heroin, and we're
Yeah.
going to get high.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on a lot right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because the detoxes, they don't give you the time necessary, and they're just kind of churning them out,
Right.
right back out in the streets.
Right.
Okay.
Not dealing with the root issues and what's
Right.
causing
I mean, they're not,
addiction.
they're not technically detoxed yet,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With what they're using to detox them,
Right.
Yeah. So your mind is still on the drug,
Right.
This
needs to be treated and dealt with in a different way than you would, say, diabetes or hypertension.
The disease of addiction controls three things:
Okay.
your mind, your body, and your spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. To the point when you get serious in your addiction, that your spirit is void, it's gone. Okay, so we have the capability of doing anything to get the drug, to get the money for the drug. And that's where it creates havoc on our society. Okay, you can relapse on your type 2 diabetes, you can relapse on your hypertension, okay, but I'm not going to get behind the wheel of a car and kill myself and somebody else.
High on sugar or
Yeah.
Steak.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
steak.
Yeah. Right.
You know, with the history of it, I mean, you know, when the early guys were working through the you know, the problems with alcoholics, you know, in AA, you know, the medical community didn't even label it a disease. They started that work in the 30s. Okay, they wrote the book in 1939. You know,
Right.
published it.
Yeah.
Okay, it
Talking about
wasn't
the AA big book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the early 50s that the American Medical Association labeled it, you know, finally classified alcoholism as a disease.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, so we've got the, you know, stigma of, you know, the substance, okay, whether it be alcohol or drugs. All right? And that still goes on, you know, till today, really.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're just talking about like the guilt and the shame that comes around being addicted.
Right. To treat people adequately, you've got to attack all three things.
Yeah.
Okay?
One thing is the body, right? So it's physically removing them from the substance,
Right.
giving them an extended time. Detoxing is what you guys call that. And then the mind. How do you guys address that?
You know, when somebody comes in and let's say they're heroin addicted, okay, you should see them. Okay, they're lethargic, they sleep all the time. You know, they have no capability of working. Okay, so what we do is we say you're not working for a while. Okay, regardless of the money situation, you know, we'll work that out.
Right.
Okay, and then so we'll give them a few weeks. We'll set them up with an IOP. We'll make sure that, you know, they've got a
What's an IOP?
Intensive outpatient program.
Okay.
You know, that's not. You know, they're sort of separate, say, than like a full residence treatment program. You know, so we'll set them up with that and make sure that their day is full. Okay.
Right.
All right. We're not going to send. We're not
idle time, right? Idle hands.
Yeah.
Devil's playground.
right.
Yeah.
You know, so we, you know, we keep them busy. You know, and we don't put the pressures on them of normal day life.
Okay.
You know, what Danny was able to do, okay, is make that template. Okay, between us, detox facilities and IOP programs.
Right.
Okay, we can now work together.
Now you called that a closed loop,
Yeah.
right?
Right. And you know, the concept behind that is that we do not throw people. We don't throw people away.
Okay.
Okay. If you're just coming into a sober living, the typical way a sober living without these other two parts, and you relapse, you are on the street, which is the
Right.
worst place
Right.
for anybody in early recovery to be.
Right.
Okay.
So let's say if someone's addicted and they've decided, okay, I'm going to get help. Okay. What are their options? They have some sort of inpatient place, right, where they're going to go into a place like No Longer Bound, or where I went, Penfield Christian Homes, and it's going to be a kind of locked door kind of facility. You go in there, you're intensely in a program, you're separated from your outside influences, right? And so that would be an intensive inpatient program, right? Then there's also the option of what you guys have, sober living, which I guess would also be like halfway house or three-quarter house, right?
Yeah.
Where you're still in society, you're still maybe going to school or you're going to work, but you have a very structured accountability program, right? There's
Yep.
random drug testing, there's meeting requirements, there's behavior requirements,
Curfews and all
curfews, all kinds of stuff. And then there's just the last one, which is what you guys have brought up, is just a straight detoxing, where you're going into a hospital kind of facility. So ideally, somebody would have a combination of all three of these things, right? And that's kind of what you guys have created. This closed loop is you're providing this recovery housing portion of it, but you've created partnerships with other people to say, okay, this guy needs getting locked down, right? Is that what the closed loop is?
It's level of care.
Yeah.
You know, what's your history and previous and current previous history.
Right.
All right. and then you tailor what their need. You tailor the program. Okay, the basic rules are the same. All right, and what they got to follow and stuff.
Right.
Okay, but if you're just coming out of a detox, you're going to be treated very differently than somebody who came out of a 6-week
Rehab.
rehab.